What is up, TFPG crew? It is the Fit Pool Guy, and happy Meal Prep Monday. As promised, I'm going to dig into my routine for how I assemble my meals for the week, how I go about selecting my menu, as well as how I go about picking up the different ingredients and the shopping that's involved with that, and then how I plan, once I have my menu set in place, how I go about able to accomplish my meal prep in the most efficient, fastest way possible. Okay, so we'll go into the old-fashioned way of digging through cookbooks, and then I'm going to show you the more modern approach and, in my opinion, the fastest way to select your menu and have your shopping taken care of for you. Okay, so stay tuned and we are going to dig in. So before you get started on your meal prep journey, there are a couple essentials that you will need in order to optimize that process. You will need a cookbook, or two, or even three. You'll need a laptop, or a phone, or something that has access to the internet. You'll need a dry erase board, and markers, and probably an eraser. So those are the preliminary things that you need in order to have an effective meal prep planning session. We are going to break down one of our essential items for planning your meals, the cookbook. I usually mark the pages that for the recipes that I'm going to be cooking for the week, but pretty much what I do is I will open this thing up and scan it, and whatever pictures look the most appetizing that's usually the direction I will go. In this case, this is the beef and broccoli bowl, and what I do is I will look at the side where the ingredients are listed. I typically double whatever serving size that any given recipe makes. This particular one makes 5 servings. So therefore, I will just double everything to make it 10 servings. I always account for 5 days of the week. So the weekend we kind of use as a time to recover, relax. We don't really want to have to be, so rigorous that we're stressing out about going out on the weekend and eating out at a restaurant. So I usually just plan for during the week and then kind of treat myself, if you will, on the weekends. So I account for 5 days of the week. So we go 5 servings and I double it so it's 10 servings. If you have a recipe that calls for 4 servings, I will multiply that by 2.5 to account for that extra day. Okay, so the 4 servings then make it 5 servings and so on. Okay, so that's what I do. I will scan the ingredients and then I take note of the procedures for cooking the recipe. But I basically mark down, and I'll show you, I do it in my phone through an application. I will input all these ingredient totals, and then I usually do it while I'm at home, and that way I can scour the kitchen for any spices or any different ingredients that I might already have so that I'm not, purchasing double. Okay, so the cookbook is going to be extremely helpful, and recommend getting one. Of course, we will dig into our second method, which does not require a physical cookbook. And the second method is with your trusty laptop. So all it will require is the correct keywords in order to perform a Google search that gives you the information that you want. So I typically will use the laptop if I'm looking for something very specific, like an Instant Pot recipe or a slow cooker recipe. The cookbooks will have them, but they're not as easily searchable. So I'd rather just find the fastest, healthiest recipe possible online rather than digging through cookbooks trying to find, is this one I can cook in a slow cooker or a pressure cooker. So Google will be your friend. Typically, keywords that you would want to input into Google are going to be healthy slow cooker meal prep meals, or healthy pressure cooker meals, something along the lines of meal prep so that they know you're cooking in large quantities, and then something that is healthy, because obviously you can cook extremely unhealthy foods in a pressure cooker or a slow cooker. So you have to provide that designation, and that will just help expand your resources for which you can grab all these different recipes. So I've found so many different blogs or chefs as a result of just Googling certain keywords, and then it directs me to an unlimited amount of resources as far as healthy, fun recipes go. And that brings us to our final method, which is through the Fitmin Cook application. I'm sure other chefs have applications out there. However, I trust Kevin Curry. I trust the recipes, and I've seen the benefits of just the variety of flavors that he incorporates into his recipes. This might be the easiest, it might be the most mobile way. You don't want to be lugging around a cookbook if you're going out of town, or if you are going to a competition. I say that because I have planned out my meals for the week, as well as ordered all my groceries from a competition. I just did it all on my phone. It's super convenient. I try to do most of my planning while I'm in my kitchen, where I can open up my drawer and see, do I have these spices? Do I already have this amount of cocoa powder, or whatever the recipe calls for? And I will go ahead and measure that out before. So if I have a total of 6 tablespoons of paprika, then I will measure out my 6 tablespoons of paprika, put it in either a baggie or some sort of a bowl, something where I can just, as soon as I get the food cooking or whatever prep, I can just dump those in. They're already measured out for me. So that will save you a little bit of time from the actual day of meal prep. So that's probably my favorite way, like I said, mainly because the pictures are incredible. It's all on your phone. It's accessible from anywhere. Pro tip for you on meal prep is to have your groceries delivered. Having your groceries delivered will save you both time, and it'll save you money. It saves you time because you're not actually having to go to the physical store, and you're not having to waste time looking for an item, figuring out where it's located in the store. You have professionals who already know the store that are picking the items out for you. It'll save you money because if you're anything like me, you go to the store and you buy unnecessary items. You spend a lot more money than you planned on it just because something looked good. And for me, if I really like a product, I will just continue to buy it. And so that's weeks on weeks on weeks of spending money that I don't necessarily need to spend, and it's not within the necessities for the ingredients of each of those recipes. Okay, so have your groceries delivered. It will free you up a little bit during the weekend to either play with your kids, take a nap, go get a massage, go hit a workout. It will free up your time, and time is money. It'll give you the opportunity to further your business or work on that side hustle. Who can put a price tag on time? The delivery is typically free, at least the way that I will walk you through it. The delivery will be free, so it won't be costing you extra money as well. So get your groceries delivered. That's our pro tip. So based on this body of knowledge, follow along in this next video as I will walk you through browsing my meals on the app, as well as ordering my ingredients on the Prime Now application. And then I will show you what I do with my whiteboard. We are going to go over selecting the different recipes that we'll be cooking for the week, as well as ordering our groceries. And I'll do this all on my phone. So I have the Fitmin Cook app that I'm going to click on. It will bring us to the home screen, which you can see is separated by tags. Each recipe is set to specific tabs. So I typically will go for the meal prep option or the high carbs option. If you're looking for breakfast, I will use the breakfast option as well. We're going to click on meal prep, And pretty much what I will do is I'll browse to see what recipe kind of catches my eye, what looks good and fun and interesting, and would allow me to be creative with my meal prep. One of my favorites and a go-to, mainly because it's so tasty and it's very quick and easy to cook, is the sweet and spicy beef meal prep. You'll notice when I click on the recipe, under the recipe title, you have tags that indicate what type of recipe that is. You have an option to add a note or share it, or if you want to like it or add it to a meal plan, you can very easily click on that and add it. It has an accompanying video. Those are always super helpful because you have an actual visual of what it looks like to cook the food, and it's got an accompanying description underneath it. Now's the nitty-gritty. So we get to the ingredients section, and like I said, I will always double whatever recipe that I'm making. So I count for 5 days, so it serves 5, and then I'll multiply that by 2. So we're going to go to serves 10, and notice that it automatically adjusts the ingredients for you. Makes it super convenient. We're going to scroll to the bottom, and we're going to add the 18 ingredients to the shopping list, and then underneath that it has the steps for cooking that recipe, and then finally at the bottom it has the nutrition and the macronutrient breakdown. And then if you want to add it to a health app, you can click on that to add it to the health app. We're going to go back and we're going to select another recipe. So we've got our dinner, let's say, and now let's choose a breakfast. Obviously breakfast is super important, and again I will kind of scroll through what I think would taste really good, what would catch my eye. We'll go with the tater tot breakfast casserole. That's another one that is super filling. It says low carbs, but you can turn it into a higher carb option depending on the tater tots that you're using. So we'll go to our ingredients. I typically will not double my breakfast. I will just double my lunch and dinner. So we're going to go to serves 5. Again, it automatically adjusts your ingredients. We will add those ingredients to the shopping cart, and it finally will show you the steps necessary to cook that. So we're going to go back, and now you'll notice that there's a 32 bubble on our shopping cart. We're going to click on that, and you'll notice it's broken down by recipes. Okay, so we've got the sweet and spicy beef meal prep, and it has all the different ingredients. Our tater tot breakfast casserole as well. I will, for shopping purposes, I will click the by aisle, and it has all of your ingredients broken down by section of the grocery store. So it makes it really easy if you're going to actually go to the physical grocery store and buy those. If you have an Apple Watch, it syncs to your Apple Watch, and you don't even need to pull out your phone. You can just check off the list from your watch. So we're going to just kind of quickly go through the different items and ordering the items. So first one, I will just go to coconut sugar, and I'm going to go to my Prime Now app. It will load up, and then I'm going to click on Whole Foods. If you're a Prime member, you get free delivery. So we're going to click on coconut sugar. And it will pop up with our different options. We're going to go with this first bag. So we'll just add that. It's one item, 16 ounces, should be plenty. We're going to go back. We're going to check that off. We need arrowroot starch. So we will go to arrowroot starch. And actually that might be something that you already have in your pantry. So if you do, then go ahead and check it off. We need eggs. So it helps to do this while you are in your kitchen. Obviously you can do it from anywhere, but if you're in your kitchen, then you can just look up and see if you have any spices already or the right amount. Okay, so we can we'll just click on an 18 count. So we've added that to the cart. We'll check off our eggs. It calls for egg whites. So then we'll go egg whites. And then we will add
our egg whites, and we might need 2 of those, so we're gonna add 2. We're gonna go back to our list, check that off. Okay, and then you can just see, you basically go line by line. Typically, if you are used to cooking, you will already have garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, sage, and salt. You might even have red pepper flakes. Obviously, you won't need water because you can get that out of the tap. And then finally, you can scroll to the bottom and basically just go item by item. If you already have it, then check it off. If you don't, then we're going to order. So we need to order some flank steak. We're going to go here and we're going to order flank steak. And we are going to add, and it said 3.5-ish pounds, so we're going to add that to the cart. Okay, and if you have covered all of your items, we're going to go to the Prime Now app and we're going to click on our shopping cart. You see here it's got our total, it's got the list of all the different ingredients that we've ordered, and the amounts on the right side of the label. We can then click checkout. So notice it said free delivery if you're outside of a 2-hour window. So here we've got free. So you can just click on whatever time works for you. If you're going to be home at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., you can click that window. I'm going to stop here because it will then go, if you hit continue, it will go into your actual Prime profile and your address, and then also your card information. So as long as you hit continue, it will take you in the direction that you need. You can even add a note to go along with if you have any sort of recommendations for what you want the delivery person to do, or the person that picks out your, for instance, produce. I have a note that says I'm very picky about my produce and I would appreciate them picking the best produce. So now that we have selected our menu and our groceries, we'll set up our delivery, and then it will come to your door and you will be good to go.
So now that we have ordered our items, we've gotten our delivery set up, the next thing you'll want to do is get your whiteboard out and write down all of your ingredients for each of the recipes you need. So this is a sample of one of the weeks. So we have each of our recipes, and then we've got all the ingredients needed. I also like to write out just the brief instructions for cooking the recipe. So oven temperature, as well as duration, if it's on the stove, if it's medium heat or medium high or high heat, how long I need to cook it on the skillet. So I'll usually, and most of the recipes call for 3 or 4 steps. So maybe steps 1 and 2 require medium heat, and then when you stick in the meat, it's going to require medium high heat. And then I'll break it up by, if it's medium heat for 1 to 2 minutes, and then high heat once you stick in the meat for 4 minutes to 8 minutes. I'll just write all those different nuances for each of the recipes on my whiteboard. Then I will place this in a location where I can just glance up at it. Usually I stick it behind here, behind the stove, and make sure that it doesn't get melted. It got melted here one time, so that was a learning curve. But it's still intact, and just put it in a place away from burners. Okay, so now that we've written everything down on the whiteboard, that's it. We are ready to go with our meal prep. Use this as a time of fun, a time to allow those creative juices to flow and mix and mingle those ingredients so that you're creating something that is tasty and something that looks really good. If it does look really good, post it on Instagram and tag the Fit Pool Guy so that I can see it. I would love to engage with whoever's trying these different recipes. If you have other recipe sources, send them my way. I love learning from new chefs and finding new recipes. So use this as a time where you can really enjoy the preparation on the front end of the week, and you're taking away the unnecessary stressors throughout the week of having to think of where you're going to eat. It's already been done at the beginning of the week, and then you can just kind of maximize your work time and whatever you've got in your schedule or care to do in your free time. It will free you up for a better opportunity to engage and involve yourself in those types of events. So again, enjoy it, put on some music, dance to it, put on a podcast and learn from it. And if you've enjoyed this video or altered your routine or added something to your routine in any ways, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. And check out thefitpoolguy.com. We have tons more content coming in that's in the works, and would love for this community to engage and provide feedback. And again, let me know how these routines are being implemented, how you're using them to maximize your work and create that work-life balance. So get after this week, let's crush it, and we'll start crushing it by our meal prep. And most importantly, stay golden, Pony Boy.